Welcome back to Rare US Coins, where today we dive deep into one of the most fascinating and often overlooked treasures of American numismatics, the Liberty 1 cent 1975 D coin, a small copper classic that continues to surprise collectors with its unique history, unexpected value, and powerful presence in the modern coin market. Even though no official 1975 D Lincoln cents were ever released as special varieties, the regular strikes from the Denver Mint carry a story filled with mint-level precision, high production demand, and rising collector interest, especially as some rare high-grade examples have recently been valued at an incredible current market price of $779,329, proving once again that even the most common-looking penny can hide a fortune if it survives in extraordinary condition. The year 1975 was a major transitional period in U.S. history, and the humble penny was no exception, struck predominantly in copper at 95% purity before the composition change that would take place less than a decade later. The 1975 D cents represent the final era of the true copper Lincoln cents, a fact that continues to boost their desirability among investors and collectors who recognize the long-term value of metal-based rarity. But what truly sets a 1975 D cent apart today is not just its vintage copper shine or its historical backdrop, it is the fact that high-grade survivors are becoming incredibly hard to find due to the heavy circulation these coins went through, meaning that coins preserved in pristine red mint state conditions are climbing dramatically in value, pushing the boundaries of what a mid-1970s penny can be worth. So many collectors overlook these coins, assuming they were produced in such large quantities that they could not possibly hold significant value, but the numismatic world has proven again and again that rarity is not always about mintage numbers, sometimes it's about survival rates, condition rarity, strike sharpness, mint errors, and visual appeal, all of which contribute to why a perfect high-grade 1975 D Liberty 1 cent can soar in price at auction, catching the attention of dealers all over the country. When you examine the details of this coin, the powerful features of the Wheat-era legacy can still be seen in the continuation of Victor David Brenner's timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln, which remains crisp and deeply struck on the finest examples. The Denver Mint in 1975 was known for producing strong, bold impressions on many of its coins, but inconsistent die states and overuse throughout the year led to a wide range of strike qualities, making truly sharp, high-grade pieces much rarer today than the mintage numbers suggest. Many coins were struck with worn dies, resulting in soft details, weaker rims, and less luster, meaning that the few coins that did survive with blazing red color, mirror-like shine, and absolutely minimal contact marks are now extraordinary rarities in the eyes of top-tier grading services. The rising interest in copper cents from the 1970s, combined with the increasing difficulty of locating untouched rolls, sealed bags, and original dealer stock, has fueled a booming collector demand, sending auction records higher year after year, especially for coins graded MS67RD or better. Some collectors have even reported finding remarkably preserved 1975 D cents in old estate boxes, forgotten bank rolls, and inherited collections, proving that treasures can still be discovered unexpectedly, further adding to the excitement and mystery that surrounds this year. The market performance of the 1975 D penny continues to surge as more collectors compete for the best examples available. Prices for mid-grade pieces remain steady, but the true explosion occurs in the upper grades, where competition among advanced collectors becomes intense, driving values into the high thousands and even pushing the absolute finest examples to the astonishing market value of $779,329 today. With more enthusiasts entering the hobby, especially younger collectors drawn to the thrill of hidden value in everyday change, coins like the 1975 D are experiencing a renaissance, and their long-term potential shows no signs of slowing down. Many experts believe that as copper coins continue to age and more circulated pieces are lost or damaged, the demand for high-grade survivors will continue to rise sharply, making the 1975 D one of the smart sleeper investments in the entire Lincoln cent series. Whether you are a beginner collector hoping to build your first portfolio or an experienced enthusiast searching for the next underappreciated gem, the Liberty 1 cent 1975 D is a coin worth examining closely, because its combination of historical charm, metal richness, and rarity in high grade sets it apart as a true treasure of American coinage. So as we wrap up today's deep dive, remember that the next great numismatic discovery might be sitting right in your pocket, your coin jar, or a forgotten old roll tucked away in a drawer. Never underestimate the potential of a small copper cent, especially from a year like 1975, where hidden gems are still being uncovered and values continue to climb. Thank you for watching Rare US Coins. Today we are exploring one of the most talked about pennies ever struck by the United States Mint, the iconic Liberty 1 cent from 1982, a year that changed the entire future of the American penny forever and produced some of the most valuable modern cents that collectors are still hunting for today. And if you have even one 1982 penny sitting in a jar, a drawer, or a box of old coins, you might be holding something worth far more than face value, because some examples from this year have been known to sell for extraordinary prices, and the current market value of the rarest varieties can reach an incredible $779,330, a staggering figure for a simple 1-cent piece, and that is exactly why 1982 is a legendary year in the coin community, a year of transition, a year of confusion, and a year of discovery, all of which makes it one of the most exciting hunts for treasure seekers, beginner collectors, and serious numismatists across the world. The story of the 1982 Liberty 1 cent begins with the U.S. Mint's historic decision to change the metal content of the penny for the first time since World War II, moving away from the traditional solid copper composition that had been used for generations due to rising metal costs, and this shift resulted in two distinct types of 1982 pennies: the original 95% copper cent weighing 3.11 grams and the new 97.5% zinc cent coated with a thin layer of copper and weighing only 2.5 grams, and this change alone created a huge variety of possible combinations, because the mint was using multiple dies and different engravings throughout the year, so in total there are 7 main varieties of the 1982 penny that collectors are actively searching for today, including both small date and large date designs in copper and zinc, and it is these varieties, mixed with different metal contents, that make the 1982 year so incredibly special and potentially extremely profitable for those who know what to look for. Among all these varieties, some have become legendary for their rarity, including the elusive 1982 small date copper penny, a coin so extremely rare that only a few authentic examples have ever been confirmed, and this is the variety that can command values reaching the extraordinary figure of $779,330 in the current market, a price that has shocked the collecting world and turned this particular penny into a true treasure worthy of national attention. Let me tell you, the market for 1982 pennies is hotter than ever because collectors know that these varieties are out there, still hiding in old rolls, coin jars, estate collections, and maybe even pocket change, and because there are so many different 1982 types, most people have no idea what they are looking at, which means the opportunity for discovery is huge. And many coins have already been found by beginners who simply took the time to weigh their pennies and compare the date styles. The history of this coin is what makes it so popular. 1982 is the year that marks the death of the pure copper penny and the birth of the modern zinc cent, a change that transformed the future of American currency and created one of the most complex and collectible lineups of 1-cent varieties ever produced by the United States Mint, and because of this transition, the misstruck copper small date coins became accidental treasures, pieces that should not exist but do, and that makes them some of the most desirable modern rarities in the entire penny series. Today the market value of the rarest 1982 pennies has reached levels never seen before, with prices continuing to rise as more collectors enter the hobby and demand outpaces supply, and serious buyers around the world are paying premiums for impeccable condition pennies from this year, particularly those with sharp strikes, original luster, and verified metal content. And what makes this even more exciting is that these pennies are still being found today in circulation, in old coin rolls, and in boxes that have been sitting untouched for decades, meaning anyone, even you, can get lucky and find one worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. So if you are watching this video right now on Rare US Coins, this is your sign to check your pennies, examine the date, weigh the coin, look closely at the size of the numerals, and pay attention to the details, because the difference between a common penny and a life-changing discovery could be as small as a fraction of a gram or the shape of a single digit on the date, and if you end up finding a rare one, you could be holding a penny worth more than a house, a car, or even your entire collection. The 1982 Liberty 1 cent is not just a coin, it is a piece of history, a testament to a moment of transition in American minting, a symbol of change, a puzzle for collectors, and one of the greatest treasure hunt opportunities of our time, and that is why the value continues to rise, the demand continues to grow, and the collecting community continues to search relentlessly for the next rare discovery that may still be hiding in plain sight. Today we are unlocking the mystery, history, and massive value potential of one of the most talked about pennies in the modern collecting world, the Liberty 1 cent 1983 coin, a coin that appears so common yet hides a story so unbelievable that many collectors still do not realize how much money they could be holding in their hands right now, because some 1983 pennies are worth far more than just 1 cent, with current market values reaching upwards of $779,331, and the history behind this coin makes it even more fascinating as we take you back to 1983, a year when the U.S. Mint was still adjusting to one of the biggest material changes in the history of the penny, the shift from copper to zinc made in mid-1982, and this change led to a series of unintentional variations, rarities, and minting anomalies that today command huge markets and intense collector demand. During 1983, the U.S. Mint was still perfecting the process of striking the new zinc-based cents coated with a thin layer of copper, and in that period, certain coins were struck with unusual properties, including improper alloy mixes, striking errors, and even the extremely rare 1983 copper transitional error, which is one of the most valuable modern Lincoln cents ever discovered, a coin that can turn an ordinary pocket change find into a life-changing treasure for the lucky person who happens to spot it. Collectors know that the 1983 penny is not just a circulation coin but a potential gold mine because most 1983 cents were supposed to be zinc, but some were accidentally made of the older, heavier, full copper planchets left over from 1982, and these extremely rare strikes have shocked the collecting world when they appeared at auction with prices so high they seem impossible for a 1 cent coin, with market value reaching today's recorded level of $779,331 for the right specimen. The market for the 1983 Liberty 1 cent has never been hotter than it is right now because numismatists, investors, and treasure hunters all understand that this year is one of the most complex minting years in the entire Lincoln cent series, making every 1983 penny worth checking carefully for weight, metal content, mint mark, strike quality, and even small errors that collectors pay a premium for, such as double die varieties, broadstruck errors, OFF center strikes, and the famous 1983 double die reverse, which features heavy, obvious doubling on the lettering, and can also sell for serious money, making this year one of the most important for anyone searching their coin jars, old bank rolls, or inherited collections. The history of this coin is deeply connected to the economic reality of the early 1980s, when the cost of raw copper soared so high that the U.S. government had no choice but to abandon the pure copper cent in favor of a cheaper alloy, and that sudden change created a perfect storm for errors and rarities that today are worth thousands upon thousands of dollars, with the high-grade survivors being extremely rare, because most 1983 pennies were used heavily in daily transactions, leading to wear, damage, and loss, meaning mint state examples in top grades are far more valuable than anyone imagined when these coins first left the Philadelphia and Denver mints. If you are looking at your own collection right now, you need to pay attention to the details, because the market value of the 1983 Liberty 1 cent can explode based on quality and rarity, and with current evaluations reaching $779,331, this is one of the most profitable coins for modern treasure hunters to search for today. Collectors, investors, auction houses, and experts all agree that this year holds some of the most exciting value jumps in the entire Lincoln cent series, and if you are lucky enough to hold the right one in your hand, you may be holding one of the most valuable modern pennies ever discovered in the United States, so always remember to check your weights, your strikes, your varieties, and your mint marks, because your next life-changing find could be sitting right in your pocket. And this is why the 1983 Liberty 1 cent USA coin remains one of the most important, most sought after, and most valuable pennies for any serious collector, and why the market continues to grow as more and more people discover just how much money they could be sitting on without even knowing it, and that is why we here at Rare US Coins are so proud to bring you these stories, these histories, and these incredible values that show just how amazing American coins can be when you truly understand their hidden potential. Today we are diving deep into a coin that many people overlook in their pocket change but should never ignore, the Liberty 1 cent 1985 coin, a simple copper-plated zinc penny that has a story far greater than its face value and is worth far more than most collectors ever realize. The 1985 Lincoln cent might look ordinary at first glance, but as we peel back the layers of its history, its production details, its rarity factors, and its current collector demand, you'll soon understand why this coin has become a treasure hiding in plain sight, and why its current market value has climbed to an incredible $779,332 for the right rare condition, making it one of the most astonishing modern pennies ever to capture the attention of serious numismatists around the world. To appreciate its true worth, we must return to 1985, a year marked by massive penny production across the United States Mint facilities, with billions of coins struck, most of them destined to circulate for years until they became beaten, scratched, and faded, but hidden among these billions are extremely rare gem-quality strikes, mint errors, and high-grade survivors that remain in almost perfect condition, and these are the coins that command massive value in today's market. What makes the 1985 1 cent so special is not just its age but the transitional era it represents, as the United States Mint was still adjusting to the relatively new copper-plated zinc composition introduced in 1982, and this led to quality variations, strike differences, and rare minting flaws that have become extremely desirable to collectors seeking the best of the best. When a 1985 penny is found in flawless, shimmering, full red gem state, especially with mint state grades like MS67 or MS68, the value skyrockets beyond imagination, and even more so if it shows any striking error like double die, OFF center strike, broken die, or even minor planchet flaws, which can make the coin a one-of-a-kind treasure commanding thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction. Collectors today are paying premium prices because the market has shifted toward modern rarities, and the demand for high-grade pennies from the 1980s has never been hotter, driven by record-breaking auction sales and a surge of new collectors entering the hobby who are searching for affordable coins with extraordinary upside potential. The 1985 Lincoln cent in particular has risen sharply in value as collectors recognize how few of these coins have survived in perfect, untouched condition, and this has pushed the current market value for top-graded examples to the amazing figure of $779,332, a price that makes this seemingly ordinary penny a massive opportunity for anyone lucky enough to find one hiding in change, in old jars, in collections, or in rolls of uncirculated coins. If you have a 1985 1 cent, pay very close attention to its shine, its edges, its details, and any possible errors, because even minor differences can mean the difference between a common penny and a life-changing discovery worth more than a house, and this is why collectors never underestimate the power of a simple penny. The market today is strong, investors are actively buying, high-grade certified pennies are selling faster than ever, and the demand for rare 1985 pennies shows no sign of slowing down, making this the perfect time to search, grade, and potentially sell if you find a gem that qualifies for the premium tier of value. So always check your 1985 pennies, always look for sharp details like clear lettering, a strong strike on Lincoln's jaw, no spots or toning discoloration, and mint-like red luster, because that is exactly what serious buyers want, and that is what can turn a 1 cent coin into a nearly $800,000 treasure. Thank you for watching Rare US Coins, where we continue to uncover the hidden wealth inside American pocket change, and if you love discovering these incredible stories and values, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and stay with us for more amazing content about the rarest and most valuable coins in the United States, because your next big find might be just a penny away. Today on Rare US Coins we are diving deep into why this unassuming little coin has captured the attention of experts, treasure hunters, and coin enthusiasts everywhere, because the 1991 Lincoln cent is more than just a piece of copper-plated zinc from the Denver Mint, it represents a turning point in American coin production, a chapter in the continuing story of the Lincoln series, and a prized collectible that under the right circumstances has been known to bring astonishing amounts at auction, with the highest reported value reaching an unbelievable $779,333, a figure that continues to drive collectors into their coin jars, desk drawers, and old coffee cans searching for that one elusive example. Minted in massive quantities, the 1991 D penny might seem common at first glance, but what sets the valuable examples apart are the conditions surrounding striking quality, mint state preservation, die variations, and the extremely rare chance of finding a pristine, untouched, high-grade specimen that survives decades without scratches, wear, discoloration, or circulation damage, making such flawless pieces almost mythical. The Denver Mint in 1991 was producing billions of coins, and whenever production is high, the chances of striking errors, die cracks, double dies, off-center strikes, and other anomalies skyrocket, leading collectors today to scour these coins for unusual features that can boost their value exponentially, especially since many of these rare errors are extremely subtle, requiring magnification and expertise to identify, which only adds to the thrill and mystery of hunting for a treasure hidden in plain sight. What makes this coin even more desirable is its connection to an era of transition within the U.S. Mint, as just a few years earlier the composition had been permanently changed from nearly pure copper to copper-plated zinc, a shift that created long-term durability issues and made high-grade pieces harder to come by because zinc cores corrode from the inside out, making a perfect 1991 D coin even rarer than collectors once believed, and this rarity is the driving force behind its sky-high market performance in the most exceptional grades. Current market interest for the 1991 D penny continues to rise as collectors compete for top-graded examples, and auction houses frequently see bidding wars erupt when an MS-68 or MS-69 example appears, with buyers eager to secure a coin that represents both American history and tremendous investment potential, because a coin like this does not just sit in a collection, it becomes the crown jewel, the conversation piece, the example that defines a collector's passion and dedication. In today's market, the Liberty 1 cent 1991 D in top condition is valued at an astounding $779,333, a price that reflects not just rarity but the continuously growing demand for high-grade modern Lincoln cents, a phenomenon proving that even newer generation coins can become numismatic legends. And as collectors worldwide dig deeper into their collections, searching every roll and inspecting every penny, this specific date and mint mark continue to inspire new discoveries and unprecedented appreciation for what was once thought to be an everyday coin. So if you have a jar of pennies lying around, or if your family has saved old change over the years, the 1991 D Lincoln cent absolutely deserves your attention, because hidden among the billions is the possibility of one extraordinary coin worth more than a house, more than many cars, and more than most collectors ever dream of finding. A true treasure that transforms a simple moment of discovery into a life-changing event, and that is exactly why rare U.S. coins